Hi, everybody. It's me, Missy, coming to you with my friend, Lindsey Ray. Lindsey, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me, Missy.
Yay! I'm so excited to be talking with Lindsey because I really want to get somebody else's perspective on meditation, as I'm hosting a free meditation workshop, and I don't want you guys to just take my word for it, why meditation is so awesome and great and it's changed my life, but I'd like to have Lindsey share her experience. So let's start with, who are you, Lindsey?
So I'm Lindsey Ray, and I am an optimal living coach. I help people really take their lives back and make peace with their food, find their inner strength, and learn to love themselves. And I also design a beautiful jewelry line that's full of spiritual and symbolic reminders.
Nice, nice. I love your jewelry. Is that one of yours right there, the triangle? Oh,
It is.
love
One
the
of my favorite pieces. This is the diamond tidy.
Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. Well, thank you. Let's go ahead and talk about your first experience with meditation.
Okay. All right. So, interestingly enough, even though I grew up in an environment that didn't really cultivate that inner wisdom and looking within and listening to that guidance that we all have, like our inner GPS, something in me always pushed, and I always heard something. And I kind of always described myself as like a natural seeker. And so, I was always looking. I was always looking to learn and seeking for more stuff. And I was always the kid that, asked like the big questions. Like, I wanted to like be near the adults because I thought, oh, maybe they know these answers. Like, why are we here? And why do we exist? And what happens when we die? And like, I was always that kid that like wanted to talk about that stuff when everybody else was like, let's tag. And it was stuff that would like keep me up at night, and I would think about it all the time. And you can imagine like being in a little head and not having, kind of like that psychological safety and space to explore that. It kind of drive you a little cuckoo. And being in an upbringing that was pretty traumatic. There was a lot of abuse, and I just knew that there had to be other ways. And even though people weren't sharing ways for me, I just, there was more. So fast forward to, being in my mid 20s and really having kind of like an aha moment with, my health and just my anxiety levels, and really jumping in feet first into like my therapeutic work and starting to heal, the childhood trauma and all of those things. I knew that I had found a little comfort in yoga when I had taken, yoga classes at my local like Crunch gym in New York City. I remember just like, feeling something more and noticing that it's strange that I'm like, in yoga and I'm the girl in downward dog that's like, looking around, and I'm like, oh, those pants are cute. Oh, what's she wearing? Oh, what's she doing? Oh, I wonder what I look like. All the time, over and over, like, child's in my hands, and stuff. But I would get those teeny tiny little like seconds of just like, and so I knew there was something to that, and I knew that I would be led back to that eventually, and I was, and I went back into a pretty like committed yoga practice probably about 4 years ago. And my yoga teacher was a guy that I knew for a very long time before he was even a yoga teacher. And he stopped me one day after class when I was like, talking a mile a minute and telling him all the things that was like going on and blah, 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 and he asked me this really powerful question. So simple. Just ask you, when is the last time that you sat with yourself and did nothing? And I was like, what? I was like, have you seen my to-do list? Like, there is no time for that. Like, no. No. And he's like, okay, do me a favor. I want you to just entertain me. Tomorrow morning, take your cell phone and go into a quiet space and just sit down and put cell phone on silent, but put the timer on for 1 minute. And all I want you to do is close your eyes and breathe for that 1 minute. And when the timer goes off, you can do it. You can go to your to-do list and whatever. I was like, all right, whatever. If you think this is going to help, great. I'm all about it. Because like I lived like up here all the time. Like, anxiety, like, idling at 110 miles an hour, like go, and it's taxing. It's exhausting. And it's a number on like your overall well-being. And I was looking for different ways. So I did it, and I did it, for the whole week. And he was like, just start going up a little bit. Just go up 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And so I did, and I did, and I did, and I did. And it took a while. It took a while for my mind to just like calm down. But it did eventually. And it was just these few seconds of just pure peace. And it was like something that I'd experienced before, because it was the opposite of what I'd lived. So that was really like my first taste, I think, of meditation. And shortly after that, I participated in I think it was like the first global meditation day that like Deepak Chopra and Gabby Bernstein did. And then Deepak and Oprah launched one of the 21 day meditation experiences, which I am a huge fan of. And I would say that 21 day experience of just like that guided meditation and doing it for that long, because that was, they're 20 minutes. And even though you don't meditate for 20 minutes, like they talk for like 10 and then you meditate for 10, it was something about like the consistency. And I really loved all that ancient wisdom knowledge that came through in the beginning, where I feel like it really set you up to settle into yourself. And I would say that really cemented my meditation practice. It like just catapulted me into like, okay, I know that this needs to be a part of my life. And, no matter what, like I drift because I'm human. Like me and meditation, haven't been getting along very well like this past month. So I'm human and it happens, but it's something that I always know I come back because when I'm not, my life gets crazier.
So what would you say is your favorite form of meditation then? Do you like being guided?
So it's interesting because I like a lot of different forms of meditation. I do enjoy some guided meditations, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes, I've really given myself permission to explore a lot of different meditations and not necessarily look for like, the right one, because for me, I need things at different times in my life. And I found that overall, that's how I am with any kind of healing modality, or, tool that we have in like, our therapeutic or spiritual toolbox, Like there are times in my life where I really need to journal a lot, like every morning, like got to get it out. And then there are times that I don't. And so I feel the same with meditation. It's like sometimes I really, really enjoy just being held and having that guided meditation where it's like, I can be supported within that voice of whoever is guiding me. And I really like that. And then other times I'm still enough and I'm peaceful enough to where I can literally just sit and I need nothing, and that's beautiful too. I really started enjoying a lot of different, Kundalini meditations with, mantras and chanting and just like the rhythmic sounds of the music and things like that. I'm always really open to explore whatever, comes to me. And so I really vary a lot in like my forms of meditation. And I feel like I just do what feels right,
That's great. That's great. No, I remember when I first started, I found the guided meditation to be easier to focus because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, I read a Wayne Dyer book and he says, do this meditation. My friend gave me the CD. I said, okay, I'll try it. But it was really good at getting me on the pillow, in the seat to sit and do the meditation. And then eventually, as I continued with my practice and trying different things, right? Because I love to have options. Don't put me in a box. Don't make me do just one thing. So then I started to expand into loving just sitting in the stillness and being quiet, right? Yeah, it's good stuff. So, okay. And the Kundalini too. Oh, I love the Kundalini. When I feel like I'm just so stuck and stagnant, it's like, that's the one that I go to and it busts things up because, yes, you're being guided. Sometimes it's with music, but the movement, it's getting that stuff unlocked out of your body. It's powerful, right?
Oh, it's one of the most powerful things that I think that I've really discovered recently. When you seek for the things that you need and they just come to you when you need them and when you're ready. And Kundalini is something that it's been in like my line of sight for years. I never took the go. And when I finally did, I knew exactly why I wasn't ready for it when I first discovered it, or heard of it. And I was ready when I walked into that class for the first time. And, I'm very happy things happen when they're supposed to happen, so that I was able to consume and digest what was actually being given to me in those moments, because they're really powerful stuff, really powerful stuff. Very grateful for it, for the practice, for sure.
And what have you experienced? Like, what makes it so powerful in any of meditation that you're doing? Like, what have been the huge benefits for you that is, like you said in the very beginning when it was offered to you, something made you want to latch onto that and do it and stick with it? Why was it so good that you kept on meditating?
I mean, honestly, it was the first thing that really calmed my crazy, to be honest. Like, we're humans and we live in a really crazy, chaotic, screwed up world. That's beautiful and amazing and wonderful at the same time. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, our nervous systems are taxed beyond belief. We have so many different things bombarding our system, between like the toxins that we consume, that we breathe, it's just, there's so much. And, I think so many of us aren't really good at caring for ourselves in the way that's needed to match the amount of stuff that's being thrown at us. So, I think we all feel crazy at sometimes, like, I mean, listen, I lived in New York City for 2 years and it was amazing, but I will tell you, it fueled my crazy. because the energetics of that city is just, it's so up here that I was already idling up here. So it just kept me kind of swirling in that circle chaos of like all of my shit, you know, all my shit that I had to deal with. And meditation was, it was just the one thing that I was just like, oh, like, wow. It helped me kind of recalibrate, and it helped me to see new things. It helped me to focus in different ways. It helped like all of this, like, even if it was just for those few seconds, those few moments, you know, it was just, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like a hit. It's a hit of like the good stuff, you know, that just is like so calming and so peaceful and so needed.
Mm-hmm.
So needed.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And do you feel that you get more clarity and focus and does it improve your day? Just, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I said, when I was sharing before, you know, me and meditation, we've been kind of having a thing the past like month or so. Because like because again, I'm human, you know, I hit rough patches. You know, I really do believe as humans living in this time, you know, so many of us are suffering. You know, pain is pain, and pain is always going to be a part of our lives, but the suffering is definitely optional. And it's something that we're totally addicted to. And, you know, sometimes I fall right back into that, and I will look away from the things that I know bring me that peace, bring me that calm, bring me that clarity, bring me that focus, bring me that. And, you know, my life reflects when meditation is not a grounded, solid part of my foundation. It does. And so luckily for me, I talk about this stuff all day long, and it's part of, you know, what I do as a career. And I feel very blessed to do that because I'm one of those people where I need the reminders, the constant reminders. So, you know, we teach what we most need to learn. And I definitely believe that for sure. Because I'm able to recognize a lot quicker than maybe I had in the past that like, oh, you know, yeah, stuff is crazy in my life and I'm feeling like all over the place and kind of like a little bit of a hot mess. Oh, well, how's my meditation practice then? Okay, well, now we know, like, got to get back in the game, you know, time to recalibrate, you know, and sometimes it'll take me a few days. It'll take me a few days to notice. And I mean, I've done, you know, stretches of like, you know, 45, 60 days, not missing a day of meditation. But sometimes it happens, you know, life derails you and, you know, I'll be like 3-4 days out and be like, what is going on with me? What's wrong? And I'll be like, oh, I've just been getting up in the morning and going, you know, I haven't taken that time to really, you know, or I've shortened my morning routine, you know, because it's like, oh, I woke up late, I got to get there. And it's like, you know what? It's the one thing that I always try to remind myself is time expands. Time expands, time is illusion. And when you meditate, you get more time. You just do, because you're able to utilize the time that's available to you in a much more clear and focused way, in a much calmer way. You know, because I wish I remembered the guy's name, and I don't. And I always tell this story because I think it's such a good one. And one day I'm going to really try to go back and find his name so I can actually properly give him credit. It was some transcendental meditation teacher that I stumbled upon a YouTube video. I don't even know what. And he was saying, you know, when I first started, I was like, there is no way I can meditate 20 minutes for, you know, twice a day, like who has time for this, you know? And what he did was he decided that he would take his day and he would segment it into 20-minute segments so that he could see how many 20-minute segments he actually had in a day. And for him, it was 7. So he had 72 20-minute segments of his day that he could utilize. And when he pictured his day like that, he goes, oh, so if I take 2 of them and sit with myself, I'll have 70 left. I think I could work with that. And, you know, hearing that, I was like, wow, I really, really like that. And I tell all my clients that I work with that. I try to tell everybody I know that, because I just think it's just a really powerful way of looking at it. You know, it's like, we always have to remember that, you know, we don't necessarily move through time. Time moves through us. And we have a lot of power in shifting and navigating time.
Right, right. No, I feel that when you feel like you don't have enough time to meditate, that's exactly when you need to sit and meditate. And just like you said, it will expand time for you. It makes you feel better. You'll feel more relaxed. And then you don't feel rushed. You don't feel like you're losing time. You feel like, wow, everything's getting done in perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things too, where I feel like there are so many different forms of meditation. And when you start just exploring them, you actually give yourself permission to use them whenever you need, which is such a beautiful thing. You know, I cannot tell you, like, one of the biggest things that I do, I literally just did it this morning on my way to the chiropractor. I was late, and I generally used to be one of those super anxious people. And so if I was running late, it literally was like the world was ending. Like, all hell broke loose. And I was just in a full-fledged panic. It was like just breathing heavy and sweating. And it was like somebody was dying because I was going to be 5 minutes late to the doctor appointment. You know, I mean, it was crazy town. And so seeing it be that I was like that my entire life, I still will get of like, you know, and I'll have to check myself right then and there. And I'll say, time expands. I am supported. I have everything I need. And literally I'll just say it over and over and over again in my head as I calmly drive or walk to wherever I'm going. And that right there is a form of meditation in my eyes. You know, it's a simple mantra meditation. And, you know, I always love like Deepak, you know, whenever he's asked like, oh, well, how often do you meditate or whatever? And he's like, I'm meditating right now. And like, everybody's like, I kind of believe you, but it's true, you know, it's true.
I love it. That's been my goal too, is to be in that meditative state all throughout my day. Yeah, I never leave. And then I think that's kind of the point too, is you take your practice with you wherever you go. So yeah.
Agreed. And one of the biggest things I think that's so important for anybody to hear, and especially meditators or maybe long-time meditators that are just kind of like, maybe they're in a space like I recently was, where I was kind of like, I was going at it with my practice. And I, you know, it's like remembering that it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's what you make it, and it's what you need. So just because your meditation practice doesn't look like mine or Missy's or Joe Schmo's down the street or Deepak Chopra's, it doesn't mean anything. As long as you're being true to you and you're tapping to what you need and you're listening to that and you're giving yourself those things, and whatever that looks like in your meditation practice, that is where the party's at. That's what it's all about.
Yes, I'm all about the party. So yeah, spiritual meditation party. No.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in closing here, you obviously have had a great experience with meditation. You have a regular meditation practice. So, Lindsey Ray, you would definitely recommend meditation to people out there?
100%. If you are looking for something to change your life in the most subtle, powerful way, meditation, 100%, hands down. Anything, if you are looking to calm the crazy, meditation. It really is one of those things, like, it's really, meditation is like checking yourself before you wreck yourself. It really is. It really is. It's like the name of the game.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much, Lindsey. Yes, that is the name of the game, meditation. The whole purpose for this interview was to show you guys how great meditation is for you. It works for a lot of people, okay, not just Missy here. And so that's why I'm going to be coming to you live on Facebook, sharing more stories. I'll be sharing more interviews with people who it's just changed their life, because yes, I have gone from chaos, crazy to calmness, okay? Meditation has been just a beautiful gift that came into my life. I'm going to share that with you guys. I have a free workshop coming up, so I'll be sharing the link, okay, yay, in the posting. And I welcome you all to come learn different techniques, what meditation is, what it isn't, and how it can change your life. Okay, my friends, I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll be back to talk to you later.